to the Knitted by Whitney YouTube channel. I am back with another special video for the Lives Rainbow KAL, and I am going to apologize right away. You can already hear it in my voice. I have not been well and I'm still recovering from that, but I knew I needed to record this video and get it out, hoping to be on my schedule of getting it out on the 10th of February. Unfortunately, the end of January and beginning of February did not go as planned for Doyle and I. We went out to celebrate my birthday at the end of January, and that very night we caught some kind of a bug and we were flat out sick for over a week afterwards. So I'm recording this on the 7th of February, and as you can hear, my voice is still not normal and I still have quite a cough. So I haven't tried doing any recording yet. This is the first go, so we'll see how it goes. But if there are multiple cuts in this video, it is because I had to edit out some coughing, so bear with me while I sound like this. I have an even longer video that I need to record this coming weekend, and fingers crossed that it's gonna go okay. I don't quite know how it will go. There was the first cut right there that I had to cut out some coughing. This is definitely going to be harder on me than it will be on you, but thank you for coming and checking out this video. I am running a knit along, well, technically a make along with Alex of Verin Rose in support of our friend Liv Spencer of the Woolshed, who very unexpectedly passed away last year. We're doing this KAL in her honor to bring some warmth and some brightness and color to the yarny world, and this is the third video in my video series. If you want more information about the KAL, I will link the information below. It is being hosted over on Instagram, and we are currently in the third month of the KAL. Just a reminder, I am doing all of these videos so that I can donate the revenue from the ads to the Histio UK Foundation, and by watching this video you are helping me raise some funds that I can then donate in Liv's memory to the Histio UK Foundation. So thank you for joining me. This is going to be a very fun video for the KAL. Every episode that I've been doing for the Lives Rainbow KAL video series that I'm doing has some information about the KAL to kind of garner some interest in it, keep you excited about it, give you information you might find helpful, and I think you're really going to enjoy the information I'm sharing today, because today I'm going to talk about the prizes. Yes, I have been holding out on you. I have not yet shared what the prizes are. I know Alex has already shared one over on Instagram, and we've been cross-posting, so I will have been tagged in that. So if you follow me, you might have seen that post already. But you only know one of the many prizes that we are sharing at the end of this KAL. Just a reminder, you need to make a post on Instagram using the hashtag LivesRainbowKAL to be entered to win a prize, and you can get bonus entries by using one of Verin Rose's knitting patterns, using the Woolshed yarn, or by making a donation to the Histio UK Foundation. And you do not need to finish any projects. WIP posts are absolutely acceptable, and also not just knitting projects are welcome. We have some crochet projects that are already entered into the KAL, and they are absolutely beautiful. I am loving seeing everybody's posts, and it's been such a joy to see all the colors that people are using. I know there was some questions early on in the KAL about what bright colors mean, like what constitutes a bright color, and it is whatever you determine is a bright color to you. So it doesn't have to be a rainbow project. A lot of people aren't into having all of those colors in their projects. There have been some really beautiful projects as well that use one color or use muted colors. I know the Woolly Worker just shared her her Rue test knit project as entries into the KAL, and it's in this absolutely beautiful, what I would call a stormy sea blue. Oh, I love it, and it looked really beautiful on her. So bright color is whatever it means to you. Also, I should point out that all of these prizes are going to be drawn based on a random draw. So it is all completely random, and we'll just be picking names. I've been keeping track of all of the posts on Instagram that use that hashtag #LivesRainbowKal, as well as keeping track of if you've used any of the bonus entries of knitting a Veran Rose pattern, using Woolshed yarn, or making a donation to the Histio UK Foundation. And for that third one, just drop a message to myself or Alex, or even just mention it in your post and let me know that that is what you've done so that I can get that extra bonus entry for you. But yeah, let's talk about the prizes that we're going to be giving away. Myself and Alex have donated prizes ourselves, and we have reached out to some of our yarny friends to get some prizes for you through them as well, and I'm going to share them with you now. So the one that you already know about that Alex has shared on her Instagram is we are giving away a sweater quantity of Rowan Yarns and the pattern the Marysia cardigan by Veran Rose. So we are giving away a sweater kit of this beautiful pattern, and we have already picked out the yarn to go with it. We picked this really lovely pinky purple, purple pink. It's this gorgeous blend of the two colors, and it's got a little bit of tweed in it, and it's absolutely lovely. So that is prize number 1, and we want to thank Rowan Yarns for sponsoring that prize. Thank you so much. When Alex reached out to get them to sponsor the sweater quantity prize, they also expressed interest in offering another little small prize. So there is also a skein of sock yarn of Rowan Yarns, and I'll include a photo of that right here. That one was also selected by Alex and myself, and we picked this really gorgeous bright color. It really stood out to us in the lineup of colors available. You might notice a theme already of what is going to be on offer for the prizes. But we are very excited about these 2 prizes sponsored by Rowan Yarns. The next prize is one that we're going to divvy up amongst 3 people, and it has been sponsored by the lovely Laura Penrose. Laura has very kindly sponsored 3 of her digital knitting patterns, so we are going to be splitting those amongst 3 winners, and those will just be patterns decided on by the winner. You get to choose whichever one you want, and Laura will gift that to you. Now, this being a knit along in honor of Live of the Woolshed, we of course have a prize sponsored by the Woolshed. Now, we haven't quite ironed out the details of this one yet, but we know that Sophie, Liv's mom, has continued the business after Liv passed away, and she and Liv's sister, Phoebe, I think it is, have been creating the most stunning, brightly colored yarns, and we know that Sophie and Phoebe will be providing a very, very fun yarny giveaway. So that is our prize from the Woolshed. Now, if you've been a follower of mine for a while, you'll know that last year for Vlogmas, I opened up my advent calendar from the Woolshed in my Vlogmas episodes, and I used some of those yarns to create my Lento sweater, which is my favorite sweater that I own. And part of what came with that advent calendar was a full skein that you opened on Christmas Day. And I never used my skein, so I am donating my skein of the Woolshed yarn Enchanted Forest, the Christmas Day full sock skein, as a prize. And I don't have it with me yet, but I'm going to be commissioning a local project bag maker to make a bag that coordinates with this yarn. I am going to be getting the same person who makes my 2 favorite bags, which is Jelly Roll Cupboard Quilts, and they are a local Nova Scotia maker. I have been using her bags since the summertime, I think, early summer. I adore them. I use them all the time. As long as I can fit my project in it, I use it. and you can fit a surprising amount of yarn and project size in the bag. But I have just been loving them. They are so well crafted, so well made, and I know that she'll be very, very good at coming up with a design that matches this yarn. So I'm very excited about that. And in that bag will also be a couple notions. I also purchased some notions from a local notion supplier to me. It is Gentle Island Knits, located in Montague, PEI. And if you are not familiar with Atlantic Canadian yarn suppliers, Montague, PEI is the home of Fleece and Harmony, which is quite a lovely yarn brand based out of PEI here in Atlantic Canada. But I bought some notions from Gentle Island Knits. I purchased these adorable unicorn needle stoppers. I use this type of needle stopper all the time. I really love it because they have, I don't think you can tell through the package, but there is a hole going through the bottom of the needle stopper, and it goes all the way through the needle stopper, and I find that that means that they go on your needles quite easily and they don't come off of them because of an air pocket. I have found with the cone-shaped needle stoppers, they always inevitably come off because there's an air pocket from when you put them on your needles, and I don't like using them because they pop off. But these ones don't, they stay on. And because they are very flat, I find them very easy to grip to pull off my needles once I'm ready to knit. And I just thought the unicorns are really lovely because they're nice and bright. And along with that, I have included some stitch markers. I found these really cute pastel tie-dye gummy bears, and this is my preferred style of clasp for my my stitch markers because they open and close, so you can use them as either a stitch marker or as a progress keeper if you want to put them on your work to measure how far that you've come. I also just really like them because if you put your stitch marker in the wrong place, you can just pick it off and put it in the right place because they open and close. But I thought those were really, really sweet. Once I get the project bag from Jelly Roll Cupboard Quilts, her shop is currently closed because she takes a break in the winter time. But once her shop is back open, I will be reaching out to her and getting that project bag. And once I have the project bag, I'm going to be doing an Instagram post sharing all of these lovely goodies. And the last prize I'm going to share with you is sponsored by Rebecca Clow of the Crayabea. She has sponsored both a copy of her Kerr Sweater pattern as well as a sweater's quantity of woolly knit British wool, which she used to knit the pattern. And I wanted to finish off with that one so that we could segue into me showing off the progress that I have made on my sweater since I last updated you at the beginning of January. So when I last updated you on my Kerr Sweater, I only had a small section of the back panel started, and I still needed to do the whole back section and the whole front section in order to join together and then start the color work, which is what I'm most excited about working on with this sweater. I just had a lot of plain white to get through, and my goal for this update was to have joined the sweater in the round to be ready to start the color work. I did not meet my goal, but I got pretty far. So let me show you where I'm at. Here is the back of my Kerr Sweater and the front of my Kerr Sweater. Hello. So here is my Kerr Sweater so far. I have a finished back panel, and I didn't quite finish the front panel. I still need to do the armhole increases, and then I can join in the round so that I can start the body of the sweater and, more excitingly, start the color work. I am so excited to get that going. If you haven't seen the earlier episodes of this series, I'm going to be using some of the Woolshed yarn Lithadora, which is from Liv's Flower Fairy collection. It's the last collection that she did, and it is this absolutely stunning bright royal blue. Oh my gosh, it's one of my favorite colors, and it's going to really pop against this white yarn. This white yarn, I'm actually almost at the end of, believe it or not, my first ball of this yarn. This is a local to me yarn. It is by a farm called Lismore Sheep Farm, and they sell their own sheep's wool made into yarn, and it is, not gonna lie, it's a bit rustic. So I have held with it some Knit Picks Aloft mohair, which is super, super soft, and it's actually a very underrated mohair. I know that Knit Picks is challenging to get a hold of if you're outside of North America, but if you are watching from Canada or the US and you're interested in trying some mohair, I highly recommend Knit Picks. It is really underrated. It's so soft. It's really, really soft. And they actually have a pure white mohair. I don't know many places that do have a pure white, so this one is actually pure white. It is actually slightly lighter than my Lismore Sheep Farm, which I found out once I saw my project in the light of day for the first time when I was working on it. But they are very, very similar. They're quite close. I think it's the closest that I can hope for. The Lismore Sheep Farm is actually a bleached white wool. It's not a natural, it is a bleached white. So it is lighter than just your average undyed sheep's wool, but it's not quite as bright as the mohair. But it's okay. It works really nicely. When it is in sunlight and you're looking closely, you can see that there are two strands that are slightly different colors, but it's totally fine. I don't mind it at all. I'm really happy with these two yarns together. But I will tell you something kind of funny. I have a notion in my knitting bag for this particular project, which might surprise you. I don't think I've ever had this in my notions bag before, but this yarn has demanded it. I have a pair of tweezers because this rusticy yarn has bits of hay in it, and I don't want to keep them in the yarn. I want to take them out because this yarn is already kind of rustic, and I'm trying to minimize anything in the yarn that will scratch me once I'm ready to wear it. I am going to do a block with some hair conditioner, which I've used in the past to soften up rustic yarn. But if I have like a piece of hay sticking out of it, that's definitely going to be scratchy when I wear the sweater. So I am, as I'm working through the yarn, when I pull it through my fingers as it gets to me and I notice that there's a bit of hay, I take my tweezers. I'm trying to see if there is a piece in the last bit of yarn that I've left. Oh, there is. There's one right here. Oh, it fell right out because this one wasn't embedded in the yarn. But sometimes it is still kind of spun into the yarn, but I'll just go along and I'll pull it out like that. So I have the oddest notion in my bag right now, and that is a pair of tweezers. So if you as well are working with rustic yarn and you're finding that there are all kinds of bits of hay or straw or something or twigs in your yarn and you want to take them out, but your fingers are getting so sore of just plucking them out, as mine were, just go get a pair of tweezers. So these are not my normal tweezers. I am dedicating these to being my rustic yarn tweezers. I just picked them up for the dollar store or something, but they've been so handy and I really love it. So when I start using my second ball and I find that there are some bits of straw or hay in my yarn, I'm planning on recording a little reel for Instagram just to show you that, because I thought it was so handy and so useful and I wanted to share that technique with others. Okay, I am starting to tear up from the amount of coughing that I've done, and I'm sure there's been a lot of little snip cuts here and there to get rid of all of my coughing. This is going to be horrible to edit, I can just imagine. But I wanted to share with you my progress of my sweater. Very happy about where it's going. I don't quite have the time to work on it right now because I'm working on a deadline project right now that has to take priority because I'm obliged to do it for another person. I'm working on a test knit right now. So once that test knit is done, I can dedicate more of my time to this sweater. It just has to take a little bit of a backseat right now, but I am determined to get to the color work, hopefully before the next time I update you. But if not, it'll be after that. But anyway, thank you all for watching and for putting up with my croaky voice. I'm going to have a very large mug of very heavily honeyed tea right now to sort of soothe everything after talking for a bit. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be, so let's see how things go for any future recordings that I do. But hopefully this will clear up really quickly. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. While you're here, it would help me out if you could like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified when I bring out new videos. This is the third video in my set of videos for the Lives Rainbow KAL, all of the information of which you can find in the description below. And if you would like to, I really hope you do join us over on Instagram, sharing some beautifully, brightly colored projects and enter yourself to win one of the lovely prizes that I shared with you today. I hope you all take care and happy knitting!